Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Marilyn. We're there. Yes, we've got audio. Great, thanks. Good morning, everybody. This is Marilyn. It's about 8:30 on the 12th of November, which is Thursday. We have the crude oil inventory this morning at 11 because Wednesday was a holiday. So, anyway, this morning, um, the indices have taken a little bit of a push down, and we're an hour out from open, but all across the board it looks like the ES and the YM may be a little stronger today. But for those of you who trade those markets, it's a good idea to keep little charts of those, maybe with a 30-minute candle on them or something like that, just to give you a picture of where the strength is for the morning. We also have gold is trading down along with crude oil, and the Canadian dollar is expressing its displeasure pretty significantly this morning. That thing has really fallen. So we'll see what happens when the inventory comes out this morning. I think some of it's already baked into the cake because yesterday crude oil prices were falling, and the iZone chart here. I added the histogram onto this. I don't know if some of you find this, but sometimes you start getting so much stuff on your chart you can't make a decision, and it starts driving you nuts. So if you take everything off and then just add one thing at a time back on, it sometimes makes it a little more clear. But you can see that from 6:30 this morning or 7, this has been a really nice trend down and pretty easy to trade. The market was pretty slow, and everybody was in agreement. When everybody's playing well together, then you've got a real safe assumption on your trade. So that's why I keep different timelines and different style bars up, because it gives you a little different perspective of certain things and certain behaviors, and it can help keep you in a trade also. So yesterday, while we're looking at this, I wanted to mention one thing because I talked to somebody yesterday afternoon, and they were trying to use these shadow continuum and this iZone template for the C's strategy, and that will not work. I can tell you that right now. You cannot try to find elevators and slingshot candles off of this chart, because these candles have a different, they're programmed differently. It's a different engineering. So if you're going to do Lori's C's system, you need to use the template that goes to that strategy. This is not a one-size-fits-all. This is, you have to decide what's going to work for the strategy that you want to use, because you can't use one chart for every single thing. I mean, unless you're Daryl Martin. And I don't know that any of us have that level of sophistication with these. I mean, he's been the reason he's like that is because from day one he's been the brains behind programming all this stuff. So just because you look at a chart Daryl has and it's got all this stuff on there and you think, oh wow, well if he can do it, I can do it. Maybe not so much. So I would really caution you to be very specific, especially with yourself, about what you're going to trade, and then use the appropriate indicators and the appropriate candles, or if you like, the high open, low close uh, bars. But this morning we've got the VIX at a little over 16, and Larry very kindly put his trading plan in. That is really helpful. If you didn't get that, if you just mouse over the icon on your hot cam, it's right there with all the assorted charts. And he points out on there too that at 11 o'clock is nat gas. I'm not a nat gas trader, but that is part of the energy sector. And Thursday at 11 is its normal time. 10:30, I think, maybe is the normal. But both of those are coming out, so energy should be fairly active right about that time. The other thing I wanted to point out is that Brent, Brent crude broke a pretty good support at 46.40 this morning, and it is also continuing down. So we'll see how far is far. It looks like the Canadian dollar stopped for the time being, but it may have just been blowing off some contracts right there in a little steam. If you're trading that today, you might be a little happier using this iZone system. So anyway, and this morning, you were part of the early bird crowd. 6 o'clock, and this morning, crude oil broke this red ice, and even for an hour, it would just hung around there forever. So you still had time to get into this, even a little after 7. If you get up and you see something like this, and you have a pretty good idea, your assumption is that this thing is going to go down. Notice right here is the midline on the range channels, and that can also be a pretty good entry if you miss this up here. Look at your 210 tick, and it was painting some red E's in this area at the same time. So I think if this continues, it may go on down here to this 1 deviation, but we'll just have to see. You can expect another one of these tall bars like this one right here at this. This is the 0.7 deviation, but look at the corresponding volume, high-low volume bar down here. It's real tall and it's real red, and that tells you that while this bar is painting, the expectation is this will continue down. So it's a matter of patience, and that's easy to see on this your iZone chart. It just fooled around and fooled around right at this half deviation. So the next stop, if it continues on down, would be this 0.7, and through there I would be looking for the 1 deviation. There's a magnet right there too at 41.80. So that's been my view from my world in Apex land for this morning. I'll be back about noon, and we'll see what the day has brought thus far. Thanks.